Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming back to the channel. And yeah, I wasn't going to make a video today. I had already pre-made two videos that I was going to release at two different times today. However, this thing started to come up and I wanted to talk and address it and shed some light on it. So first of all, this is going to be regarding the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro and the latest article type up about the 6 and 6 Pro and findings. Now, one of the things that I was very interested in knowing was exactly what modem was the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro using. Since they have their Tensor chip, obviously they're not going to be going with Qualcomm. And we may have gotten the answer to it as a certain person wrote up an article talking about it and saying that looking at the baseband, they were able to determine that the type of modem that is being used is the modem that's used in the Exynos 5123, which has an equivalence to the Snapdragon X55 modem. And that's fine. Now we kind of have an idea and we should know just about the limitations of the 5G connectivity that the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro will have. It's going to be pretty much equivalent to the limitations of the Snapdragon X55. But here's where the thing kind of goes on a weird turn. And don't mind my dog. It's like it always barks when it sees another dog. There are people who are taking to social platforms and it's like, you find one thing that may not be a desirable thing and it's automatically like written off. And that's just such a weird concept of how this thing goes. My later video today will kind of discuss that, that type of attitude. But I am here to address the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, the type of modem that it has. If you are a 5G buff where you absolutely have to have the fastest speeds in the entire world, then of course this is going to affect you. But hey, guess what? You actually have the option to not buy the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro and just go with something else that fits your needs more. The fact that the modem is very equivalent to the Snapdragon X55 and that some people are starting to run down the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro is kind of funny. It's kind of funny in my opinion because last year's iPhone 12, that modem that it has is the Snapdragon X55 modem, and people were just like amazed by the connectivity. And obviously, because of the iPhone's antennas, they were amazed by the connectivity, and they were boasting about data speeds and such and whatever. Okay, and of course, Pixels don't get a pass. iPhones can get a pass, Galaxy phones can get a pass, but not the Pixels. What's even more crazy is that they talk about the reason why it doesn't get a pass is because it's not future proof. Well, let me just be the first to say this, that most devices are not future-proof. Most devices are designed to give you something good, but also keep you wanting more. And eventually, their whole entire purpose is that in hopes that you upgrade to next year's model. It is what it is. Technically, I would love every device to be truly future-proof, meaning that you can buy a device and you will not feel the need to upgrade to the newer ones in the next couple of years. But that's not how it happens. It is made to be that way. Now, is this a major hindrance to the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro for those who don't really understand modems and 5G network and all this other stuff? No, it's not. Even, believe it or not, even with low band 5G, you get decent speeds, right? Because the average user, or the end user, I like to call them end users, not just the average. End users use their phone for what? For chatting, texting, for phone calls, but ultimately the software experience. Their experience with the software, going on social platforms like Facebook, like Twitter, those things. And those things don't require gigabit per second downlinks and gigabit per second uplinks in order to do that. The one area where this really kind of affects is when you're watching video. If you want to watch video in 4K, obviously you want a faster downlink and a faster uplink in order for it to pump out the full resolution of that video and you be able to see it within the constraints of the resolution for that video. That's pretty much about it. But you could even do that with 500 megabits per second down and 150 on the uplink. We know millimeter wave yields gigabit per second speeds, but that is not the only aspect of 5G. 5G is not just millimeter wave alone. And some people live with that notion where it's like, oh, if it's not doing that, then it's fake 5G or this, that, and the third. No, 5G encompasses three areas: low band, mid band, high band. You cannot just turn a blind eye to low band and mid band and solely focus on high band and say that that's absolutely what 5G is. No, it's not. That's not it alone. Because if that was it alone, then there would be no low or mid. It's there for a reason. I look at 5G like it's a building block. You got to have 3 points of it. You got to have your high band for fast data delivery, your mid band, which kind of teeters between and carries some of the load, and your low band for longevity range of reach. That's the way that I look at it. Some people can say, hey, you're wrong. You have no idea about 5G. Fine, I'm wrong. But that's the way that I look at it. And yeah, could it have been better if they went with the Snapdragon X60 modem? Obviously, yes. But it's not a hindrance where the phone is not going to be good just because it doesn't have the X60 modem, and that it has a modem that is equivalent to the Snapdragon X55. It's not going to make your phone so slow that you're going to feel like you're on a dial-up connection from 1993. It's not going to be anything like that. And I think that people that are rushing to get to Twitter and are rushing to Facebook to go and say this, to point this out, and then the same people who gave the iPhone 12 a pass when it didn't use the X60 modem, but, are like, we're not handing a pass to Google. Obviously, I'll call you out on it and say that you're just basically biased, period, against the Pixels. And any little thing that you could use to say something really bad about the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, you're going to use that as your defining reason why the phone is not good. Without even having it in hand, because some of these people don't even have the phone in hand, and yet they're so quick to cash out on it. So that's the point that I'm saying here, is that yes, while it is, not the greatest news that it doesn't have the X60 type modem, doesn't mean that the experience is going to be god awful or anything like that. And matter of fact, the most majority thing out of the smartphone that should be judged is the software experience, because that's what you interact with every day as an end user. The data speeds does matter to a degree, but there are people who still only have LTE connectivity, so they're not hurting at all whatsoever, and they have a Pixel 6 or the 6 Pro, and they're not hurting. Well, not really the Pixel 6, but the 6 Pro they have. Those phones won't come out till October 28th. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on the subject. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, and I'll definitely read those. Smash the like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. And that's it for right now. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. As always, aloha.